Hi, this is African Time and my name is Vedashi SA. Well, today I'm actually here to congratulate some African people, mostly on how they are actually doing and also to encourage more African countries to also do this, okay? So, do you guys guess what I'm going to talk about? Well, see what I'm going to talk about. It was shared recently by Afri Starting Post. This says, Top 10 African countries with the largest exports to fellow African countries. Okay, so there you have it, okay? We are going to discuss about top 10 African countries that also export goods and services to other fellow African people, okay? Now you know why I said this is a good news and I'm here to encourage more of this, okay? So let's see the list. Alright, so it says several countries have experienced a significant rise in intra-African exports, with Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire leading in year-over-year growth. Listed by intra-African exports in USD billions, including YOY growth rates. Okay, so that's how we're going to discuss this, okay? They are saying that Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire, yearly, these guys are actually leading when it's come to exporting goods and services to other fellow Africans. These guys are actually doing well. So first of all, I would say big shout outs to Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. These West African countries are actually doing great. But let's actually dive inside the list and see how much they are actually trading with each other Africans. The latest list is having done, okay? So let's see. All right, so they came and says number one on the list of African countries with the largest export to other African country is South Africa. South Africa is said to have an export of about $29.61 billion with a loss, okay? Although they are leading with $29.61 billion, they have also had a drop of minus 1.34%, okay? South Africa had a drop of minus 1.34%, but they are still the leading African when it's come to exporting goods to other fellow Africans with $29.61 billion. Number two on the list is Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire is said to export about $11.38 billion to other African or fellow African countries, and they are in percentage wise they are saying they have earned a positive percent, meaning it's plus 26.40%. That is how huge the Ivorian people have exported goods to other African people. So they have actually increased their exports to other African people. That's what it said. Number three on the list is Egypt. Egypt is said to also export to other fellow Africans with $6.61 billion with a plus 18.69%. Okay. Number four is Ghana. Ghana is also said to export about $6.02 billion with a plus of 27.23%. That is also impressive. Number five on the list is Nigeria. Nigeria is also said to export about 5.63%, which is $5.63 billion. That is plus 8.18%. Number six on the list is Morocco. Morocco is also said to export about $3.78 billion to fellow Africans with a plus 7.39%. Number seven is DRC, that is Democratic Republic of Congo. They are said to also export $3.34 billion worth of goods to other fellow Africans. But this time around, they have declined of minus 7.79%. Although they are seventh on the list, but they have actually reduced their export to other fellow Africans this time around, okay? Hopefully, they encourage themselves and do more. Number eight on the list is the Zambia. Zambia is said to export $3.17 billion to fellow Africans with a percentage of plus 9.47%. Number nine is Namibia. Namibia is also said to export $3.15 billion to fellow Africans in terms of goods and services, though, and they are said to have plus 20.22%. Number 10 or last on the list is Tanzania. Tanzania is said to also export $3.13 billion worth of goods to fellow Africans with a percentage of plus 18.29%. So there you have it. These are your Africa's largest export to fellow Africans and how they have actually increased their production or their exports through over the years. Okay, so it says that Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire are actually topping the chart, with Ghana having 27.3%, high or increase of exports, and then Cote d'Ivoire also having 26.40% also increase in their exports to fellow Africans. These guys are actually standing out, but in the total thing, when it's come to in dollars or in the percentage of money wise, South Africa is topping with 29.60 billion worth exports to fellow Africans in the year 2024. That is how far your various African countries are actually trading with each other to improve trade among each other. This is good. This is very, very good. We need to actually encourage more African people to actually learn and also know how to trade with each other, because when we do this, it's actually efficient. It's cheaper than trading with outside the continents. It's cheaper. Transportation is less costly. There's a lot of things that actually makes trading with each other better more than other things. Okay, so hopefully the continent will actually grow from what we are seeing now to a more superb place that we are actually hoping for. Okay, let's continue with this. All right, so they also came and says intra-African trade promotes regional integration by encouraging cooperation among African nations, leading to the development of shared infrastructure, standardized regulations, and the elimination of trade barriers. So the source to this data is by African Trade Report 2024. So this was actually shared by the African Trade Report 2024. You can actually check them out and see what they actually had for you guys, because it was actually beautiful when I went to the site, and I also learned a whole lot of things. Okay, they actually brought in a lot of broad explanation to all this. You can also know and understand the kind of things that these African countries are also exporting to each other, and that needs to also be strengthened to grow, so that we can actually be each other's keeper on this continent. Okay, that is lovely. Well, these are my takes on it. Let's also see some other African people, their takes, and you also, my friend, can also share your take at the comment section. I'll be there to see. All right, so to our first comment, this person says more countries should focus on trade with countries in the neighborhood. That is more profitable and easy. Well, that is a comment from a fellow African. He is saying that more African countries need to be encouraged about this, because this kind of trade is actually profitable and it's also easy to do. All right, as I said, it's actually easy and it's less transportation costs, so it's good. We need to encourage these ones. Again, this one also came in and says, thank you to Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire for leading in a year-over-year growth in intra-African exports. Well, yeah, he's saying that big shout outs to Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire for standing out, having 26 and 27% increasement in the 2024 export to fellow Africans. That is actually impressive. Hopefully, we can actually increase this export to each other. Okay, big shout outs to Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. Well, this one also says good. Should always help out and grow the region before thinking of other places. Well, these are some of the comments from fellow Africans. They are actually in for this good news. They are also encouraging, correlating, and also giving or sharing the thoughtful ideas and positive ideas for other African people to also learn and do this for the continent. And lastly, this person says, great to see intra-African trade thriving. Impressive growth from Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. Well, these are actually some positive things from fellow Africans. So as you can see, people were actually happy seeing this. Hopefully you also will be happy seeing this too. So I want to see your comments at the comment section, and I also want to see you guys also following up this and learning one or two things from African facts on people. All right, Afri-Stars and Post people. My name is Rashia Say. As usual, I was here to talk about Africa and African facts, and also let us discuss and know what is happening in our continent. Hopefully you enjoy this section of African Time. My name is Rashia Say. Don't forget to share, like, comment, and also subscribe to this channel for more of these kind of stories. See you guys around.